Hello students, welcome to the session 6 of Unit 2. In the last session, you learned about use cases, definitions, basics, terms and case study. In this session, you will learn about other approaches for analysis such as data flow diagram, key concepts of data flow diagram, example and importance of data flow diagram. Before going to the data flow diagram, let us think why the analysis is important. The basic objective of analysis is to get the requirements of the clients and the users. The analysis is an important activity after discovering the requirements of the system from the users and the customers. It is an important to the success or failure of a software project or a system. Requirement analysis should be documented, tested, measurable, and it should be related to identify the business needs. The basic goal of analysis is to understand the problem domain. So, the analysts must be familiar with the different types of approaches so that they can choose the best approach to find the solution to the problem. Analysts also act as consultants for helping the clients and users to identify their requirements, and they also collect and organize information about the client's organization. The basic principle used in analysis is divide and conquer. In this, the problem is partitioned into several subproblems and each subproblem can be handled independently. Finally, the solution to all problems are combined into a solution to form a large problem. The concept such as state and projection is also used in partitioning process. In this, a state represents some conditions about the system. When using a state, a system will work in any one of the possible states. In projection, a system is defined as multiple points of view. The different projections obtained or combined from the analysis for the complete system. Let us study about the data flow diagram. Data flow diagram are also called as data flow graphs or DFDs, which are commonly used in problem analysis. DFD is a graphical representation of data flow in any system. It is capable of providing incoming data flow, outgoing data flow, and it can store data. Data flow diagram may be used as a communication tool between the system designer and user. A DFD is a traditional way to represent the flow of data in the system. A neat and clear DFD represents a good amount of information and system requirements graphically. It can be manual, automated, or combination of both. DFD shows how the information enters or leaves the system. The purpose of DFD is to show the scope and boundaries of a system as a whole. The DFD represents the logic models and express data transformation in a system. It includes a mechanism to model the data flow and supports composition to illustrate the data flows and functions. DFDs can be hierarchically organized. DFDs can be hierarchically organized, which helps in partitioning and analyzing large systems easily. Such DFDs together are called as leveled data set. In DFD, there are three levels: level 0, level 1 and level 2. And DFD are of two types: logical DFD, physical DFD. Logical DFD represents the flow of data in the system. Physical DFD represents the implementation of the logical flow of data. DFDs are simple and general and very useful in understanding the system. A DFD shows the flow of data through the system. It views a system as a function that transforms the inputs into desired outputs. The DFD is a part of structured analysis modeling tools. Notations used in DFD as shown in the table. There are different notations used in DFD. They are: circle represents a process. Source or sink is represented by a rectangle. An arrow represents the data flow. Key concepts of DFD. It contains process, source or sink, and data flow. Process means it performs the transformation of data from one state to another. The processes are represented by circles. Source or sink is an external entity which acts as source as well as destination, which means it contains system inputs or system outputs. Source or sink is represented by a rectangle. Data flow. It is the path for data to move from one part of the information system to another. Data flows are represented by arrows while entering or leaving the processes. This is an example, simple example of DFD which contains a source or sink, customer which is represented by a rectangle, and there is one process called as process order, and an arrow represents a data flow which flows from customer to the process order. Students, remember that process is represented by a circle and source or sink is represented by a rectangle, and an arrow is represented by a data flow is represented by an arrow. This is an example of a DFD which is used to pay the workers in the company. By using the notations of DFD, now you can be easily able to identify which are the processes and source or sink or data flow. Students, now tell me how many processes are there in this DFD? There are 5 processes. They are get employee file, weekly pay, overtime pay, deduct taxes, issue paycheck. These are all the processes, and remember that processes are represented by a circle so that we can easily identify, and there is only one source or sink. So tell me students, here worker is the source or sink which is represented by a rectangle, and arrow represents a data flow. For example, employee ID is a data flow which flows from worker to the process get employee file. Like that, there are many data flows. They are pay rate, regular hours, overtime rate, pay, overtime hours, total pay, net pay, and check. These are all the data flows, and remember that each data flow has a name and all the names of the data flow should be unique. And there are some external files. They are employee record, company records, and tax rates. These external files are required by the company. So they are represented by the straight line with the name. And there is weekly timesheet which contains all the details about the employees of the company. And there is a special symbol called asterisk. So whenever there is a multiple data flows, asterisk symbol is used. For example, for the process weekly pay rate and regular hours, both data flows are required. So, asterisk is placed in between the data flows and it represents the and relationship. Relationship describes how the entities interact. Students, remember that multiple data flows are represented by and relationship. Similarly, for the process overtime pay, the data flow pay and overtime hours are required. So, asterisk is placed in between the data flows. Students, in this diagram there are 5 processes which are represented by a circle and one source or sink which is represented by a rectangle and many data flows, and each data flow has a name, and there are external files which are required by the company and it is represented by straight line with the name. In this example, there is only one basic input data flow, that is weekly timesheet, which is obtained from the source worker, and there is one basic output, that is paycheck, which is also a worker. In this system, first the employee's record is retrieved using the employee ID which is in the work timesheet, and each employee ID should be unique. From the employee record, the rate of payment and overtime are obtained. These rates, regular and overtime hours are used to compute the pay of the workers. After the total pay is calculated, taxes are deducted. To compute the tax deduction, information from the tax rate file is used. The amount of tax deducted is recorded in the employee and company records. Finally, the paycheck is issued to the worker as the net pay. The amount paid is also recorded in the company records. This DFT is an abstract description of the system for handling payment. This diagram is suitable for manual system and not for automated system. This is another example of DFD which is used for clothes ordering system. Students, now you can be able to identify which are the process and source or sink and data flow. I told you that process is represented by a circle. So how many processes are there? There is only one process, that is clothes ordering system, and there are 4 external entities or source or sink which are represented by a rectangle. They are customer, clothes supplier, clothes store, sales manager, and the data flow, it is represented by an arrow. They are receipt, clothes order, management reports, customer order. This is another example for DFD. Rules for DFT. In DFT, data flows are identified by unique names. These names must be chosen in a meaningful way to relate the data, and each process should have at least one input and an output. All the processes in the DFT should go to the another process or to a data store. For specifying the precise structure of a data flow, a data dictionary is used. The data dictionary represents the structure of each data flow in the data flow diagram. Data dictionary is a collection of information of all data elements or contents of databases. It makes it easier for user and analyst to use the data. Data cannot flow between two entities. Data flow must be from an entity to a process or from a process to an entity. There can be multiple data flows between an entity or a process. Two data flows cannot cross each other. The input to a process must be sufficient to produce the output flows. A process must transform data. A DFD is not a flowchart. It means DFD represents the flow of data and flow chart represents the flow of control. An arrow in the flow chart represents the order of events, whereas an arrow in the DFD does not involve any order of events. DFD has no control flow. There are no decision rules and loops. DFDs are built using standardized symbols and notations to describe various entities and their relationships. DFD visually represents the systems and processes. The next topic is importance of data flow diagram. Data flow diagram is simple to represent and the flow of data in the system. It allows simple set of concepts and rules. It is an effective technique that is useful to represent the result of structured analysis of software problem and the flow of documents in an organization. DFDs can be used in various fields. DFDs can be used in software engineering. In this, DFDs can provide a focused approach to technical development. DFDs can be used in business analysis. In this, business analysts use DFDs to analyze systems and find inefficiencies. DFD can be used in agile development. In this, DFDs can be used to visualize and understand business and technical requirements and plan the next steps. DFD can be used in system structure. In this, any system or process can be analyzed in progressive level to improve it on both technical and non-technical basis. DFD method is an element of object-oriented analysis and it is widely used. It is the method of choice for technical descriptions for three reasons. It is easier to understand by technical and non-technical audiences. It can provide a high-level system overview, complete with boundary and connections to the other system, and it provides a detailed representation of system components. DFD helps the system designers and others during initial analysis stage. Use of data flow promotes quick access to project code development. It helps us to understand the functionality and limitations of the system. DFD provides a visual representation of the information within the system. By drawing a DFD, we can tell the information provided by the and delivered to someone who takes part in system processes. The processes and the information needed is to be stored and accessed. DFD includes supporting the analysis of requirement stage of system design. It is a technique with annotation describing a network of activities or processes of the target system. Stepwise refinement through hierarchical decomposition of the process. It is beneficial to communicate existing system to the user. A straightforward graphical technique which is easy to recognize. It is used as a part of the system documentation tool. DFDs are easier to understand by users. It supports the logic behind the data flow. There are some disadvantages of DFD. It makes the programmers little confusing concerning the system. It takes a long time to create a DFD and physical considerations are left out. A leveled DFD set has an initial DFD which is very abstract description of the system, identifying the major inputs, outputs, and major processes in the system. The context diagram is drawn in which the entire system is shown as a single process with all its inputs, outputs, sources, and sinks. Then each process is refined and a DFD is drawn for that process. A process in a DFD is expanded into a DFD during refinement. For the hierarchy to be consistent, it is important that the net input and outputs of a DFD for a process are same as the inputs and outputs of the process in the higher level DFD. This is about data flow diagram. In this, you studied or learned about the data flow diagram, concepts, rules, example, and importance of data flow diagram. Let us discuss about the multiple choice questions of this session. Question 1. A state represents A. Multiple points of view of the system, some conditions about the system, graphical representation of data flow, to represent the structure of the database. And the solution is some conditions about the system. Option A represents the projection. Option C represents the data flow diagram. And D represents the ER diagram. So the answer is B. Some conditions about the system is a state. Next question is, the data flow diagram shows the flow of data, the processes, the areas where they are stored, all of the above. And the solution is D, all of the above. The DFD, it represents the flow of data and it contains processes which are represented by a circle, and this data should be stored. So the solution is all of the above, D. And the next question is, a data flow can only enter a process, only leave a process, enter or leave a data store, either enter or leave a process but not both. And the solution is C. A data flow, it can enter or leave a data store. It cannot only enter a process or only leave a process. Data flows from one end to the other end. And the solution is C. Enter or leave a data store. Data flow diagram is defined as a graphical representation of data flow in any system. B. Database structure. C. Requirement specification. D. The error occurs in SRS. And the solution is A. Graphical representation of data flow in any system. You already know that data flow diagram contains processes, sink or source, and data flow which are represented in a diagram. Database structure, it refers to the entity relationship diagram, and requirement specification contains some details about the system, and the error occur in SRS is different. So the solution is A. Graphical representation of data flow in any system. Fifth question. The process. It performs the transformation of data from one state to another. is defined from multiple points of view, is state and projection, is a data flow. So, I told you the definition in the earlier session. The process, it performs the transformation of data from one state to another. The answer is A. For option B, the answer is projection. State and projection, it is a method used for analysis. A data flow is a path for the data to move from one state of a system to the another. So the answer is solution A, performs the transformation of data from one state to another. Next question is, a source or sink is represented in data flow diagram as A. Circle, B. Rectangle, C. Arrow, D. Straight line. And the answer is B. Rectangle. So remember the notations used in data flow diagram. Circle is used to represent a process. Rectangle is used to represent source or sink. Arrow is used to represent a data flow. And straight line, it is used to represent some external files. Next question is, in data flow diagrams, a process is designated by A. Circle, B. An arrow, C. A square box, D. A rectangle. And the solution is A. A circle. So again remember the notation of DFD. Circle, it is used to represent a process. An arrow, it is used to represent a data flow. A square box, it is used to represent a source or sink. A rectangle, it is also used to represent a source or sink. Next question, and the 8th question is, it is a collection of information of all data elements. A. Data flow, B. Process specification, C. Data dictionary, D. Control flow. And the solution is C. Option A, data flow, means it gives the path for the data to move from one state of the system to the another. Process specification defines what must be done to transfer inputs into outputs. And data dictionary is a collection of information of all data elements. Control flow is an order in which individual statements of a program are executed or evaluated. So the solution is C, data dictionary. And the next question is, multiple data flows are represented by a symbol. A. $, B. plus, C. asterisk, D. minus. And the solution is C. So students, remember an example of DFT for the pay workers. In that there is asterisk symbol. It represents the multiple data flows. When a process requires multiple data flows, it should be represented by using asterisk symbol, and this represents the AND relationship, which describes how to interact with the other entities. And the last question is, DFT is not a flow chart. And the options are A. true, B. false. and the solution is A, true. DFD is not a flowchart. I told you that. DFD is different from a flowchart. DFD represents the flow of data, whereas flowchart represents the flow of control. An arrow in the DFD will not be in any order of events, but an arrow in the flowchart represents the order of events. And DFD has no decision rules, control flows, and loops. I hope you all understood the today's session and MCQs in this session. For this session, I referred a concise introduction of software engineering by Pankaj Jalote, and I referred the www.sciencedirect.com and another website known as www.intelspot.com. I would like to sincerely thank the chairman Nilavati ma'am, moderator Tulsi ma'am, and subject experts and other content developers who supported me for doing this session. Thank you one and all.